Hello everybody and welcome to today's video, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Only if you like it though at the end, you don't have to give it a thumbs up beforehand. But in today's video we're talking about the fact that I'm out of YouTube jail basically. So my channel is back working properly. That's because it's all sorted out now. Someone reported, so if you don't understand what actually happened, someone reported one of my videos and I got basically put into like a YouTube jail sort of thing, and yeah, so we're now back up and running again, which is a good thing. You know, if we're back, the channel's working perfectly fine now. We're perfectly good, you know, all because someone didn't like one of my videos and reported it, and YouTube obviously have step measures to check this sort of thing out, and it's all sorted now anyway, so we won't get into the ins and outs of that. But not only we're talking about the fact that I'm happy now because I'm now out of YouTube jail, we're talking about what is this Bovaer feed additive, this chemical that Arla are feeding the cows. Now, I've seen a lot of TikToks and a lot of stuff on social media and what have you about this chemical, this feed additive that Arla are wanting, you know, they're trialling. Now, there's only, bear with me a minute. Right, so, just check some figures. Arla have trialled this feed additive on 30 farms. Now, there is, in this country, there is 7,000, roughly, dairy farms. Now, it is dropping the amount of dairy farms, I won't lie to you, it's not good. But we're not here to discuss that. They're trialling it on 30 farms. This is big in the news at the minute, and there's actually talk of people boycotting buying milk. Now, don't go doing something drastic like that. Don't go boycotting milk. This isn't a dangerous thing. It has been approved by Food Standards Agency, this chemical, and it is perfectly safe. Now, there's a lot of chemicals in this feed additive that I'll put up if I can find them, but it says they might cause like skin irritations and what have you. But out of 7,000 dairy farms that are in this country, only 30 of them have participated in this trial, and it works out at 0.4% of dairy farms are using this feed additive. I'm not personally using it. I'm not with Arla. If you are concerned about this feed additive that's been fed to cows, it's only being marketed in Tesco's, Morrison's, Aldi. So if you're concerned, don't just go to either Asda, Marks and Spencer's, or Waitrose for your milk, because it's not been marketed through them. So if you are concerned about it and are adamant that you don't want, I'll switch that off in a minute. And you are concerned about it and you don't actually want to buy it, go elsewhere other than Morrison's, Aldi or Tesco, because they're the only supermarkets that are participating in this. Now, the thing why they've put this chemical out is purely because they're concerned about the carbon footprint. And they're saying that if you feed this chemical, Arla are saying if you feed this chemical to your cows, you give 27% less methane gas off your cows. So, which is good for carbon footprint aspect, but I think the world's coming to something if they're thinking, oh, the cows are the problem. Now, you see it on the media all the time, say, oh, carbon footprint, all this, like cows are harmful in the environment with the methane gas and ammonia gases and whatever they're giving off. Cows have been on this planet for thousands of years. Climate change is supposed, you know, whether you believe in it or not, is supposedly a recent thing. So, how can an animal that's lived here for thousands of years be affecting the environment now? Now, personally, I think it's them aeroplanes in the sky that are the big big concern that people aren't addressing enough of, because you don't, you know, you hear these vegans saying, "Oh, don't drink milk" and what have you. No one's ever saying don't travel by air. You know, don't travel, do air miles and what have you. And it's not only doing that. It's if you go to the supermarket, you can buy food from anywhere in the world. You can buy it from Australia. You can buy it from New Zealand. You can buy it from China. It's coming here on a ship or a plane, either a ship or a plane, to this country. Now think of the carbon footprint on that. Avocados from like bloody Brazil or wherever. Just, it's insane. And personally, me, along with probably every other dairy farmer out there in this country, has to do a carbon footprint assessment every year. So a fella comes out from a company that specialises in this sort of thing, and they run through all the inputs and outputs of a farm, and they convert it into a carbon unit, and they basically tell you on how to improve it. Now, one of the big things is I'm carving heifers at about 2.5 years old. It's about 30 to 32 months roughly. That's what we've got down on the paperwork. But they're saying if you drop that, your heifers, you've not got as many heifers. Sorry, dogs here. You've not got many heifers coming through, and it looks better on your carbon footprint. But what they don't see is my cows are predominantly British Friesians. There's a few Montbéliard crosses, Norwegian Red crosses. Yeah, there's a few. We've got a few of them amongst them. But my cows are lasting longer than the average Holstein herd, because I'd probably say about half of the cows in herds in around the country will be probably Holsteins rather than British Friesians. I'm not saying I've looked them figures up, but I'm just, generalising in my own opinion that most herds out there will be Holsteins rather than British Friesians. British Friesians generally last longer, they have better feet and what have you, but they give a low amount of milk, but they last longer, so you're in it for the long run. Whereas Holsteins, you're pushing them to the extent, they're a bit like a racehorse sort of cow, where you put all your money into it and you get the big return out of it. Whereas the British Friesians, you put your money in slowly, you see the return back slowly. So carving heifers at a younger age, even though they last an older age, but they're lasting longer, doesn't show up on your carbon footprint that you're actually doing better. So, well, it's just pointing out there that the state of the world now thinks cows are bad for the environment, when actually it's all this air miles and ships carting stuff from abroad into this country. Yet the government supposedly wants this country, the United Kingdom, to be net zero carbon by 2050. Now that's only 25 years away. There's a lot to do in 25 years. If you go back 25 years ago to now, things haven't changed massively. They're going to have to do a lot in 25 years than they've already done in the last 25 years, if that makes sense. So it's just astounding what they're trying to do. And one of the supposedly leaked documents, because there was a thing called COP29 a few weeks ago, I think, and supposedly there's a leak. I've seen, this is all rumours by the way, I can't actually find anything to back this up, but supposedly there's a leaked document where they're saying the government want half as many farmed animals in this country by 2030. So in five years they want half as many farmed animals in this country. What are people going to eat? Then this is the big thing, right? The population of this country is going up because obviously people coming in from abroad on rubber dinghies, illegal immigrants, asylum seekers, and they're being put up in hotels and that. The government's spending all this money, our taxpayers' money, on them. It can't look after their people in its own country, but you're looking after them, housing them, putting them up in hotels, And what are they eating? They're eating our food. Population grows, so demand for food grows. And yet you're wanting to halve the amount of farmed animals in this country, supposedly. What are you feed? Are people are eating fresh air? You know what I mean? It's beyond belief, this. And I'm sorry if this is a bit of a rant video, but it's basically me saying, what's the world coming to? Where we're at the stage where we're now feeding a chemical to cows to reduce the methane because we want to keep airplanes in the sky. It doesn't make sense, does it? And we're just we're in a country that's run by morons, basically. I'm sorry, Matt, if that offends anybody, but it's the state of the world we're living in now. Because another thing is, it were on the news recently, the last coal-fired power station in this country was shut a few weeks ago, closed down. Whereas if you look at China and India, I think it's China and India, they've opened more coal-fired power stations than they ever have before. They've got more. You know what I mean? If you look at our country on a map, on a world globe map, you look at the United Kingdom, it's only a little red dot, really. I'm being honest with you, little red dot. If this country became net zero, that little red dot's not going to make massive amount of difference to the global, supposedly climate change crisis. Whereas you look at countries like China and India that supposedly have opened more coal-fired stations than ever before, they've just counteracted what we've done by net zero by doubling the amount of carbon they're producing by opening all these coal-fired power stations. You know what I mean? It's just one of them. So I apologise for ranting, but it's just, I want to get it off my chest. Don't go boycotting buying milk. If you do want to boycott buying milk that you think might have this chemical in, buy it from either Marks and Spencer's, Waitrose or Asda, because they supposedly don't. Or Sainsbury's is another one. Or Lidl. They're supposedly not taking part in this Arla Bovaer feed additive trial. So, go there. Just don't. It's not the farmer's choice at the end of the day. It's Arla's choice which buy the milk off the farmer. So us farmers aren't to blame. Don't try and blame the farmer for feeding chemicals to the cows, because we're not feeding chemicals to the cows. There's only 30 farmers out of 7,000. So listen to me when I say don't boycott buying milk, because please do. Please buy milk. Don't stop buying milk, because last thing farmers need right now, when we've got all this stuff with the government inheritance tax relief going on, is the general public turning on us and causing more problems, because then there'll be more farmers going out of business again, which we don't want. Because farming is pretty much the backbone of Britain, because it's where all your food comes from. So, yeah. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. And I apologise for ranting so much, but I hope you enjoy me having a little bit of a rant, and hopefully you understand more what this Bovaer feed chemical is now, because I've had to look it up and clarify a few things, because I was seeing a lot of stuff on social media about it and it was being blown out of proportion, basically. So I thought I'll make this video so it explains it a little bit, and hopefully I can educate a few people along the way on actually what it actually is and the effect it is on British farming and our people at risk. Because I'd be a little bit concerned, but after looking it up and verifying the information, I understand that actually there's not really anything to worry about at this current moment in time. Because actually I did see a TikTok about it being, it's only been trialled for a certain amount of days, it's not proven. Well, actually, it has been proven in other countries abroad. So this is the first time it's been trialled in this country, but it's been trialled in other countries. And yeah, so it has gone through the process of being trialled. So don't think it's unsafe. It is safe, but if you want to boycott it, boycott that. but don't not support your dairy farmers, because they need your help. You know, we're trying to look after you. We only want to feed you at the end of the day, and look after the country and keep them fed. And thank you for watching. So I'll leave it at that. So thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in my next one. Thank you. Bye.